What is going on, everybody? Episode 114 of many. Happy Tuesday. I am recording this on Monday morning. It's beautiful weather. I'm walking outside. I'm just fired up today. Getting back from Florida. I feel rejuvenated. I got some really good sleep in my own bed last night, so that was nice. You know how it is, sleeping away from home. The best, I don't know. Coming home is always a good time. Although you're like, oh, one more day in the sun or one more day in the mountains, wherever you're at. It is nice to be home, to getting back in the routine. You know, while I was out there, I got 2 workouts in. We left early Wednesday morning, and then by the time we got there, the day was just kind of goofy with the whole situation, and my parents couldn't come at the same. Anyways, so I worked out Thursday and Saturday. But again, sleep quality wasn't great. You know how it is. Again, on vacation, maybe you have more drinks than normal. If you're like us, that's the kind of vacations that we go on. It's not that I drink more when I'm gone. I'm not an alcoholic when I'm not around. I drink like each day, enjoy the sun, right? And then it just sleep quality goes down. So anyways, I'm a human. You make your own decisions. That's just what we do on vacation. So anyways, I'm super fired up to be home. I'm super fired up to be talking to you guys. I've already had a really productive morning. I got my workout in today. I've already got plenty of steps in. I actually, our Grizzly Baraboo location, I've got some updates there I can give you real quick, because I was just talking to Zeke, our guy who's going to be running our joint down in Baraboo. I talked to him for about 20-30 minutes this morning. Mind you, I only had a little bit of coffee by this point, and I was on one talking to him. I was getting all these ideas and telling him how we're going to work together and how Baraboo is going to be amazing. And for those of you who don't know anything about Baraboo, we've got a studio in Baraboo, Grizzly Baraboo Training Studio. It is a branch of the Grizzly Fitness brand. It is just a training studio. It is like 1,200 square feet. It is only for our small group personal training setup. So we have this going down there, and we had a couple of their coaches down there. It ended up not working out. I don't need to get into the details, but it just wasn't a great fit, didn't work out. So we're basically starting from square one again. I've got Zeke. Zeke worked with us months ago, last year at some point actually, on the Priority Fitness side. But when we hired him, he originally wanted to work on the Grizzly side. I just didn't have the availability to get him in on the Grizzly side. So Zeke and I, it didn't work out with Priority Fitness. It just wasn't ideal for him, and then travel and it all just didn't line up. So anyways, Zeke and I reconnected and thought this would be a good opportunity for him and for us, and now we're gonna work with him on Baraboo. So we're starting from square one. This morning, like I said, I talked to him for 20-30 minutes about the marketing plan and how we're gonna do this, and just kind of coaching him up on all of that. The last 2-3 weeks he's been training with Kimber, with Kira at our other Grizzly locations, so maybe you have seen him there, but he's been learning and making sure he feels confident. So anyway, super excited about that. I am going to go to Baraboo, I think on Thursday if my schedule allows. Him and I are going to get some pictures together. I'm going to go over some content with him. We're just going to get on the same page and make sure we are ready to launch Baraboo again. So anyway, super excited. Right now we've just been kind of paying rent there, and the studio has been closed the last couple weeks. So anyways, moving on. I've got a couple messages today for you. My first message, or my first thought, maybe this will be my only message of this podcast. I guess we'll see how long I can ramble about it. But learning, educating, improving yourself. When we're kids, when we're young, everything is new. Everything's amazing. Life is great. Every new sound, every new taste, right? Like everything is new. And then you get older and you stop learning. Your willingness to learn stops. Your attitude of I know everything already starts. And we just, grow old and naive, and we don't care to learn. So I forget the numbers. I was just reading something the other day, but, up to age 12 or something, it's like we are learning a lot of information. Everything's new and everything's interesting. So it brought me to an interesting thought. And as you know, I'm an avid reader. My reading has been less lately with the restaurant and managing multiple businesses and just figuring it all out. But I'm slowly getting back in my routine. I'm still reading on a week-to-week basis. I'm just not reading as much as I was, as far as a book a week type thing. So, one, we need to learn. We need to read. We need to have an open mind. We need to just be willing to learn and listen to people, listen to stories. I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, my favorite way of learning, or my favorite stories as a kid, specifically from my dad, but any, to me at the time, an elder, somebody who had lived more life, those history stories were always so fun, right? Like, or the story about like your family who came across the water and did this and that. Like, as a kid, those stories were so intriguing, and that story stuck with me, right? On World War II this, or World War I that, or, you know, back in the samurais or whatever, right? Like, the history was always cool. It was always way better than in history class or social studies when they would teach it to you and it was like by the book. And again, drawing that image, that memory was always a good way to learn from our elders. So when it comes to learning and everyday life, one, having the mindset to, I'm going to learn today, I'm going to improve today, not, you know, whatever the opposite of that would be, right? Not the closed mind, not the, you know, again, I don't need to learn, I don't need to understand. So my thought of the reason I'm bringing this up, I'm 27, turning 28 here in May, and I find it very funny, and this isn't to come off in the wrong way, but I find it very funny, especially when I'm working with people younger than myself that aren't willing to learn and even understand, like, hey, this guy has done some things that I haven't. I would like to learn from this guy. The reason I bring this up is, for me, if I had somebody, again, I'm not saying this in the wrong way, this isn't to be conceited or being full of myself by any means. If I had somebody like myself when I was 19, 20, 21, that I could work with, work for, and he was willing to give me his time and energy and coach me and mentor me and just tell me things that he's been learning, I would jump all over that opportunity, because this guy has done something that I haven't. Now, not even do I necessarily need to do or have the want to do what this guy has done, but I know that he clearly is doing something different, something that I'm not doing, right? Maybe I can learn communication skills. Maybe I can learn, you know, maybe he can put me in contact with somebody that I need to learn from, or that I need to make a deal with, or whatever. Hey, Colton, how do we do real estate? Like, what is it like buying your first property? How did you start an LLC? Like, what made you start a business, right? Like, I think everybody at some point in their life, like, these things happen. You buy a house, you buy, you know, you want to start a little side business, but you're too scared. You don't, right? So I find it very funny, especially when I work with people younger than me, that aren't even willing to accept like what's in front of them and what opportunity they have, and the willingness that I am to help them go in whatever direction they want to go. I tell a lot of people that I'm close with, I encourage them to read. I encourage them to go to the gym. I encourage them to be the best versions of themselves, because that's how you win. Every single day you should want to be 1% better than you were yesterday. And what does that mean to you? You don't have to do anything for anybody else, but what does it mean to be a little bit better than you were yesterday? And to me, that's always learning. That's always being interested in life. I think the always learning mindset could also be a little key to like longevity, like always having something else to learn and to get out of life. The beauty in life is learning. The beauty in life, understanding more and just knowing that you'll never know it all. That should be intriguing, I think. I mean, I think you should want to learn. Now, I'm not saying you should become a mathematician. I'm not saying you should study science if that's not what you're into, but like, just go and be open-minded. Now, for me, I give respect everywhere. I do not walk around full of myself. I do not think that I am better than anybody else, right? Like, I have my own, I hold myself to a standard, right? Like, I know who I am, and like I'm going to walk around with confidence. But when I talk to anybody, I always come with the mindset that there's something that I can learn from them. Especially my elders. They've lived more life than I have. They've have more stories. They've been in more situations than I have. No matter what I've done at my age, I couldn't have possibly done everything that they've done, as far as the certain situations that they may have happened, or that they may have, what's the word I'm looking for? That they may have encountered or something, right? So when it comes to dealing with anybody, your mindset should be, what one thing can I take away from this conversation? What one thing can I learn? What one thing can I ask them? What thing have they done that I haven't, that I can take away? So I encourage people to read books, biographies, autobiographies, stories on people's lives from all times. It doesn't need to be just recent stories. It can be, again, old presidents or whatever you're into. Learn and read about their lives and see some takeaways. Now, can I read a book about, Pablo Escobar and, learn that I probably shouldn't be a massive drug dealer? Yeah, that should be pretty straightforward. But I'm sure there's something from learning about his life that I can find interesting, that I can find that I didn't know. And maybe it's knowledge that I'm gaining that I'm not going to go and be a massive drug dealer, right? But maybe there's knowledge I can gain from learning about him and the way he ran his business, and I can take that back to our business. Again, I'm not trying to draw similarities here, but I'm just saying, like, there are things that we can take away and pivot and learn on those and benefit from. So anytime you have a conversation, it should always be open-minded, and it should always be like, I'm not saying you should come to the table and be greedy and say, what can I take away from this person? But like, what can I learn? And have the mindset that this person has something to give me. This person has something to teach me. And what one thing can I leave with them? So respect everybody, especially your elders, and listen to them. Listen to the stories. Listen to the way that they were raised and they were grown. And I think there's some key takeaways that you can take away and live a better life, live a healthier, happier life with that. So again, willingness to learn, and I just think it helps your day to day. You wake up, you're excited. Again, when you were a kid, you woke up excited. You were excited to go to school for the most part. You were excited to learn something. You were excited when you came home and told mom your grades, or I got this or that, or I did this today, right? Like, I know everybody's got different situations and different ways they were brought up, but just generally speaking, there's always something there as a kid. So trying to bring that back out. I spend some time with some people, I won't name any names, who have a very child-like, I don't know, what's the word? They're a child at heart, right? Like they enjoy the little things, and they like having that mentality. As we get older, we're like, oh, stop messing around, stop being immature, stop whatever. That's like the old us, like we should be excited. We should want to play, out in the grass or whatever. And I'm walking outside right now, but like, we should be willing to be kids. And, we overthink things and we're too worried about the little things. Like, oh, I don't want to get dirty. I don't want to do, like, just enjoy life. Enjoy the time you do have, right? Last episode, we talked about, you don't know how much time you have. So enjoy it while you've got it, and be a kid. Have fun, smile, laugh. Like, don't be so hard. Don't take life too seriously. Like, what is there to take too seriously? We live on a big giant rock floating in the air, right? Like, I mean, what are you so stressed out about that should take that much mental, just enjoy life, right? So that is my message of the day for you. I'm going to keep today short and sweet. I want you to learn. I want you to live. I want you to love your life. And I think if you can change this mindset, small little subtle changes. I know we talk about habit building. We talk about being the best you. Just catch yourself when you realize, you know what, I'm being a dick. I'm not, like I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. Realize that, note that, and you can slowly start making change. I don't think you can snap your fingers and wake up today and be a different person, maybe, so to say. But I do believe that if you start realizing your attitude, that you can make positive change. I do believe that I believe there's a better you in there. And if you're striving to be a better you, I think the book that I was reading, which I'll talk a little bit more maybe on next episode, you can have more, but you need to be more, right? You can't have more and be you right now. So every time you level up, and this could be in regards to money, basically whatever, you can have more, but you need to be more. I always go, it's easy to relate it to money. You want to get a raise, you need to be somebody who you're not right now. You can't be you today and expect to get paid more. Or maybe you deserve the raise today because everything you've done in the past 6 months, 9 months, 2 years, whatever. But we're evolving, we're learning, we're becoming a different version of ourselves all the time. And so you need to use that power for the good. You need to improve yourself and realize, hey, I do want that guy's job. I do want to make more money. I want to be in that person's shoes or similar. What are they doing that I'm not? And realize that. And so again, this brings me back to my point. When I'm working with people younger than me that have somebody similar age, and I think this is important because sometimes it's easy, you listen to, again, if I'm 25 and I'm listening to somebody who's 50, that's a mentor to me, but they might not get it, right? Like that's this young person mentor. They don't get it. They haven't done it. They're not living in my timeline, right? Like that was 25 years ago when they started their business. When I am working with somebody near my age that I've been brought up basically same timeline, similar things, right? Maybe different states, whatever. But you have an opportunity, and I'm not going to charge you for it, especially if you work with me. Like, I want to help everybody, and as many people as I can. Now, I'm not saying I can do a 30 or 60 minute call with everybody out there my age and give them everything for free. But I do these podcasts. I do have people who work with me. They have access to me, and I do things in front of them, and I coach, and then people look at me like I'm crazy, that I'm, critiquing them, and like I'm critiquing them, again, positive criticism, but sometimes my jaw just drops. I'm just dumbfounded. Like, I'm not saying everybody has to be me. I'm not saying everybody has to start a business. I'm not saying everybody has to be the same kind of successful that I see out there versus, you don't have to do what I'm doing, but be willing to learn. Be willing to listen to people. Be willing to, hey, what can I learn today, and what can I take away from this? And again, I just think it's very funny. So I'll leave on that note. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. I hope you guys can take something from this. I hope you can share this episode with somebody who maybe needs to, hear some of this stuff. I encourage everybody to read. I encourage everybody to learn and listen, and I just think that's the way for you to rise up and again, not be the best, but be the best you, right? So I appreciate you guys. Happy Monday, Tuesday here. Unfortunately, we got some shitty weather coming again, it sounds like, but I swear I think spring is coming. So anyways, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon. If you want to add me on social media, Colton.Burt on Snapchat, Colton Craven Burt on Instagram. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.